I don't know, it's 3 p.m. just about to start. I just wanna lay in bed. You think I could come over instead? I'd like that, but maybe, just maybe.
Hey guys, Natasha, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, hello and welcome to the channel. Welcome to the show. Today's vlog, we're gonna spend at home. This is what a Sunday in my life would look like when I'm just catching up on things that I have to do, pick up items, go grocery shopping, da-da-ding, bada-boom. But hopefully we're gonna have a fun day today. We started our day a little bit later. We did sleep in. There's currently also so much snow outside, an incredible amount. So that's gonna be a fun adventure as to will I be able to successfully go grocery shopping, because I have a little cart that I like to pull and I don't know if the sidewalks are clear, so that's gonna be fun. However, before we do that, I want to edit a video. It's a quick clip. It'll take me maybe like 20 minutes to do, so I have something posted, and then I'll start working on the second video of the day. I think there will be a second video of the day. I'm not too sure, because two things are true. One, I want to make a second video of the day. Two, I'm hungry. It's 1 o'clock. Maybe there will be only one video today. This is poor planning on my part. Here's the thing. Before, I used to record videos and have them ready to post for the next day. And then I kind of lost my creative routine, which is something that I'm trying to find again. And I'm posting and recording and editing all same day. Don't recommend that. Don't recommend that at all. But it's the truth. It's what I've been doing. So I'm trying to get back into having content for the next day, just because it's a little less stressful. I'm able to just like wake up, click post, and then calmly work on what I want to create for the following day, rather than like wake up and go, you know that sound? Anyways, so let's get this video ready. I need to get my SD card. I was gonna have a lazy day today because it was a snow day, but then I was talking to a friend and they're like, I was like, what are you gonna do today? And they listed off all these things they were gonna do. And I said, let me get productive. Let me get productive. So I was like, okay, what can I do today and not throw my day away and still try to be productive, even though it is snowing, and it probably has been snowing all night. I can see a lot of snow on my balcony. The wind in the air is mixed with snow, so I'm like, snow. Let me try to limit my time outside, but at the same time, maybe also go outside. I've been kind of inside the past couple days. I did go outside for a minute yesterday. Let me tell you about it. It's really not that dramatic. However, I went outside to go get two things. A little mat, so you know when you get in the house you can stomp your feet off, because all of a sudden it was snowing and I didn't have that before, because I didn't have problems with like the shoe holding the snow melting. Now there's a big puddle at the entrance of my house. So it started to snow a couple days ago, and now that's the new problem I need to fix. I need to get a little mat so we can put the shoes there, Anyways, so I wanted that and I needed a bath mat. So I go get dressed, put my thermals on, and I also wanted to go to Uniqlo to get a heat tech because it's getting a little cold, a little chilly. So get dressed, go outside, go to HomeSense. They only have the bath mat. They don't have the little entrance mat. I said, okay, whatever. And then I get hungry, so I go to this taco spot, which is sorry good. And then I went to do the rest, but it was just the snow and the wind was just going so fast. It was impeding my vision, even though I had glasses on. So I was like, okay, I'm already out here. Might as well get a cookie. So I went to go get a cookie, because apparently this spot has really good cookies. The spot was closed. Okay, Google Maps, found another spot that apparently had good cookies. Went there. It was like, I think around like 6:30 when I went. The place is supposed to close at 8. I get there, they're like, sold out for the day. Then I took my booty back home. Unsuccessful. So today, in my adventures, maybe we'll get a cookie. Maybe if the places have cookies today, we will be able to get a cookie.
It's funny how you were all of my first, would have guessed you became my very first ex. We started in stranger situations, comes back in full rotation. If we had dialogue or miscommunication, promise I'll say this with more conviction. How was I supposed to know where this path would go?
That shower that I just had felt so good. We're gonna head out to go to the grocery store, but I thought, let me put something on. I want to take this off, but the curls aren't ready. As in, not that they're marinating, but we're gonna keep it on until the makeup is done. Nothing too dramatic, Nothing too crazy. I wish I had some questions to just do a little Q&A chit chat. I've definitely done a Q&A. I've been on YouTube for a minute. If this is your first time meeting, hi, my name's Natasha. Nice to meet you. A little bit about myself, a little blurb. I'm 24. I live in Toronto. A lot of people think I live in, I'm American because I do spend a lot of my time in LA, and my parents do live in, not in LA, but like LA adjacent. And I spent a lot of time there. So I feel like that's why people think I'm American. And I also went to school in the States. So I do dabble in the United States of America. I do. So I can understand where you get that impression, but I'm Canadian. I love to dance. I love to get dressed. I love all things beauty. I love to eat good food. I love to travel. That's just kind of like a little blurb in case you don't really know me. Or if you've joined and you don't really know my story. I kind of want to reintroduce myself. Maybe in the next video, I'll do like not a whole video, as in like a 20-minute video, because usually my vlogs are about like 20-30 minutes long. But maybe I'll do like a cute 5-minute video and post it next week of just like an introduction to myself and pin it to my channel so anyone who's new can just click it, get a quick like Sparks Note version of where we are in the journey and how we got here, and then we can continue to have fun. The complexion product that I'm using right now, which I've been really loving lately, because it's, what is it? Is this what's this called? Hello, why don't we read it? Color Correcting Full Coverage Cream. It Cosmetics. I've always heard of It Cosmetics as like, you know, as I grew up, but I never really tried their products, and I got this in PR, and I said, oh, something that's like not too much, because my daily used to be, and I still love, this is usually what I use now for nights out versus like during the daytime, the NARS, what's it called, Soft Matte Foundation. I'm in the shade Caracas, which is, funny enough, the capital of the country that I'm from, Venezuela, if you didn't know. So love that for me. But now I've been using this, and the coverage is so nice, and it feels so lightweight, and I don't feel like I'm getting oily as much. Fun fact, I'm an oily queen. How do I hold this up? I am an oily queen, and I think it's a mix of my skincare routine plus my makeup steps lately that I don't get as oily as quickly. So I need to do a little roundup and share those things with you guys, because I started a makeup improvement journey over on TikTok, and I feel like I haven't checked in a second of all the new tips that I've learned that I've been applying to my routine, because in the last couple of videos I've been getting a lot of compliments on the makeup, and I said, period, something is working, someone's learning. So yes, that is that. I also finally got a new eyebrow pencil yesterday, and I was talking to my friend today. I was like, it's crazy the amount of like makeup PR that I get, and not a single package that I've gotten in the past couple of months I've gotten a new eyebrow pencil, and that's literally the only up or like refill on makeup that I need. I have now 2 drawers full of makeup PR and not a single eyebrow pencil. Which leads me to my next thought. I think I'm going to do a giveaway soon. I've never, ever done one in the history of all my time on social media, and I thought it would be cool. But then I'm trying to figure out how to do it, on which platform to do it. Part of me wants to do it on YouTube because it's my very first platform. It's my OG. Love her. Love you. The other part of me wants to do it on Instagram, maybe TikTok. I know people put rules like, oh, make sure you follow me on my Instagram, follow me on my YouTube, like, share, da-da-da-da. But part of me is like, okay, how many people are going to follow just for that and then unfollow after when they find out that they don't want half the price? Because I do it too sometimes when there's these brands like, oh, repost this, do that, and then after, oh, I didn't win, unfollow. The thing is, maybe that's why I haven't done many giveaways, because I want to make sure that the community that I have here on TikTok and on Instagram want to be here, not like are there for the second just to get some free stuff and keep going. So maybe I can do 2 giveaways. 1 giveaway, I choose who I give it away to, and by I choose, I mean I know the ones that are here. If not every video, at least every other video, you pop up in my DMs, you pop up in my comments, you're on Instagram, you're on TikTok, you comment on both videos even if you've seen them on both platforms. Like, I have a lot of you guys that I can recognize by user, so maybe I'll pick one of you as the first giveaway winner, so I can like really send my gratitude to my OGs, or the ones that like really show the support and really show up. I know that I also have a lot of silent watchers, so if you're listening to this and you're like, but I'm a silent watcher, I'm so sorry. I like, maybe that's like the first giveaway group. I have a lot of things, and like I say, I have a lot of PR that I get, and I have one face, so I definitely want to have someone else enjoy it, because it's just gonna sit there and then it's gonna expire, and then nobody's gonna get to enjoy it. What's the fun in that? And then maybe I'll have a second giveaway winner randomized pick. And I'll do the whole follow me on Instagram, follow me on YouTube, make sure you like, repost, da 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 da. But even at that, I kind of want to make it different. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. I want to really tap into the community, because at the end of the day, all of this is about that community that we build when we talk. And I have another thought that kind of is related. I'm going to talk about it, and then we're going to go back to the original discussion. I recently saw a podcast, or heard, well, I saw it because it was like a video podcast, and the creator was talking about how she really loves conversation in the comments. Like, she got tired of posting things and just being like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, because people are like, oh, so cute, da 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 da. And she wanted to move more towards having conversations in the comments. So in her descriptions, she would either like put a question or put something to start that conversation, so then her viewers are really tapped in and are really checking in. And I feel like that's so awesome, because you really get to converse with community. I love the community we've built so far, and I love when people like comment on my photos, but I think it'd be so fun to maybe add a question component or a discussion component. Not like a discussion post like this is homework, but a place where you can not only discuss me and you, and I get to read your thoughts based on like the question that I asked that day, but also you guys can tap in with each other and foster community that way. And I think that would be so beautiful, because then we have a stronger connection. And it's not just like I post, you say, you look gorgeous, thanks. It's more like we are continuing to have that conversation. And I think this is why I also love my Instagram DMs so much. And if you follow me on Instagram, you probably know I'm kind of really active on the DMs. I swear I feel like I'm friends with some of you guys, because we'll send each other messages. The other day I sent one of you guys a voice note, and I'm like, oh, we're like, when I sent the voice note, they were like, oh my goodness, I feel like we just upgraded our friendship to our next level. Like, I love having these conversations, and I guess that's why I love answering my DMs, and I try to be as active as I can on there to really foster that connection. But I think that would be so much fun to take it one step further and have those conversations in the comment sections of the reels that I post, or the photos that I post, or whatever, so we can chit chat more, because I want to feel closer. Like, how do we close that gap so we feel like a closer community than we already are? I say that because now back to the original, which is the giveaway portion. I think maybe that would be a good start to that, what is that called? New routine or thing that we do, is fostering those conversations in the comment section. So maybe when I post a giveaway and I post like the photo on my Instagram, then I give you all the rules, da 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 da. Maybe one of the steps will be like, oh, and tell me about da 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 da. And then you guys can go ahead and write your response. I can go ahead and answer. You can answer each other, get inspired. I don't know what the question will be, but I think that would be fun. Anyways, let's finish this makeup. I really thought I could talk and chat at the same time, but the count timer, how long this has been recording, says 11 minutes. I can chat, I can yap. Also leads me to the next point. I've been getting a lot of messages on my Instagram that they love my daily chats, because I do daily chats on Instagram. Again, I keep plugging in my Instagram, but I've just been loving Instagram lately, and I love doing like showing up daily and talking about random things. And then within those messages, I also get oh, you should do a podcast. Here's the thing. Girl, babe, I can barely keep up with all the platforms. This is a one-woman show. Believe it or not a lot of people, but a good chunk of people that do this and do this well have multiple people helping them, have editors, or even if I had just like a YouTube editor, that would be so helpful. Because then I feel like I can post more YouTube stuff, because I can sit and chat and talk about different things and have ideas of different things I want to do. But I'm one person, and I can't start all these new projects and series that I have in my head with just me. Which kind of leads to the thought, if anyone knows a good YouTube editor that's not going to like charge me my left kidney, because I know it takes time, so I want to pay fairly, but at the same time, some people will be charging way too much, and I'm like, girl, then let me know. But besides the point, when I get comments or when I get DMs like, oh, you should start a podcast, that'd be fun. But because I could chat, I can pick a topic and just like go on 5 side tangents, and maybe we'll get to the end of the topic and what the message was at the end of the day. At the end of the day, Ashley Trevino. Or maybe we'll actually talk about 30 different things like we are talking about right now. I don't know. That's why I can't do the podcast, because I only have one of me. And although I have lots of ideas on top of everything that I already put out, I don't have enough time to edit all these side quests or even budget some of these side quests. I have some really cool side quests that I would love to, not side quests, but like series that I would love to bring to life. But again, I'm one person. Maybe we'll get some more help in 2025 and you'll be able to enjoy all these things that come up in my brain. Finish my makeup, let my hair down. The front of my hair looks amazing. The back, I know it's flat. I just know for the fact that it's flat because the way that my thing was up and I can feel that it's flat. Girl, I'm gonna turn around, but I trust you. Don't laugh, okay? yeah. I'm going to quickly write a grocery list if this never has battery. Perfect. I'll write it on my notes app. Hey guys, and welcome to Canada. Yeah, it's so warm, so sunny. I'm getting a sunburn. UV index is at 10 today, and we're actually battling the Arctic tundras to just get some groceries. Come on, let's go. I'm really glad that I'm wearing my glasses as some sort of protection for my eye. The wind and the snow that is occurring right now, as I'm engaging also my quads and my glutes to walk and not fall in the snow. Although I really appreciate all the snow plowers that have done the good deed and the work for the roads, as a pedestrian, I would love to see some sidewalk plowers. Thank you. Jackpot, look what we got. Balanza. Passion fruit. $2. They look different. There's purple ones, there's ones that are like this. But bro, if they're $2, which one do you think I'm going to get? If there's $2 each. Should I get them? Oh, I got a papaya at home. What is this? Oh, a guava. I don't like guava. What is this? They got so many, No Frills got so many exotic, girl. Which is cooking. I have not been wanting to cook anything, really, for the past, week and a half, which means I haven't really been eating delicious for the past week and a half, and I'm tired of not eating delicious, and there's only one way to fix that. Cook. Now that I have the ingredients, I can cook now. I'm so excited, y'all. On tonight's menu, what are we making tonight? That's a great question. I have some chicken that I need to make. Maybe pasta, but I also want cookies. I didn't go to the cookie spot that I said I was going to go to earlier, and now it closes in 30 minutes. And if yesterday it was going to close in an hour and a half and they were sold out, I'm guessing that in the next 30 minutes, it's probably, they don't have anything. Maybe let's make the cookies first because they need to rest in the fridge for a little bit. We're making brown butter toffee chocolate chip cookies. I always forget which recipe that I use, but I think it's this one. I don't have 2 sticks of butter. I have a block of butter, but it says 227 grams. And guess what I have? What is it called? You know what it is. A scale. This scale also reminds me of my days in the lab when I had to measure everything. Okay, 227. I'm going to try to cut this in half and see how close I can get with my eye. My guessing, my approximation. 228. Period. Look at me. I knew my time in the lab was worth it. This part I need to lock in because if you mess up the brown butter part of your brown butter chocolate chip cookies, girl, one, you wasted the ingredient. Two, it's gonna be, what's it called? The word for amargo. Sour? No, not sour. What's that word in English? Bitter. It gets so dark here at night, but dinner has been served. I made the copycat rigatoni, like spicy rigatoni, and I added some chicken because I had some chicken that if I didn't cook it between today and tomorrow, it was gonna start to go bad. Taste test. This recipe always hits. I made some homemade lemonade, whipped it up real quick, and then the cookie dough has been sitting there, and I'm gonna currently preheating the oven to put them in. Oh my days. Finally, food, homemade food. I'm glad I chose to turn my day around and do something with it because I was really just gonna sit in bed and watch TikTok all day. I regret to inform you that I messed up my cookies. They taste good, but when I was measuring the flour, I was using what I thought was a 1/4 cup, and then I realized it was a 1/2 cup. So then I was like, oh, okay, it's a 1/2 cup. So I did the math, and I was like, okay, I think I put the correct amount. Like if I stop now, this is the correct amount. If I convert the 1/2 cups and the amount of cups that I put in. But I didn't double check, and I should have. And I should have known that I messed up. I mean, I knew I messed up the moment that I finished like putting my dough together, and it was really dry. And I've made this recipe before, and it's kind of like a little moist, or like moist. I said made the ball, put it down, baked it, took it out the oven. The ball didn't move. She did not move. I've made this recipe countless amount of times. It's turned out great every single time. The flavor's there. It's just that she's a little dehydrated. Anyways, I'm getting ready for bed. I feel like you guys have never seen my bathroom just because, and it's honestly one of the things I regret about this place, or that I don't like as much. My bathroom is so dark. The lighting sucks. Right now, there's 2 panel lights so you can see me. It's so dark, so I don't really record in here. In my closet, I already have in my closet room, I already have my setup. So I'm like, let me just put everything in, or let me do everything in my closet, and that will be like my dedicated recording space, filming space. So you're not often here. I think you've been in here maybe once or twice when I first moved in, and since you haven't, and I moved in August. It's February. Oh my days. I was also thinking, my lease is up in November, and not that I'm trying to like live so far ahead, but what's November? Like 10 months, 9 months from now. My lease is up in a pregnancy. Not my pregnancy, no, in somebody's pregnancy. But usually, honestly, a pregnancy is 10 months. Everyone says 9 months, but if you actually like learn about it and see that it's 10 months. Thinking about that today, and I'm like, wow, my lease is up in 9 months. And yes, technically 9 months is a long time, but just thinking about, I can't speak, how long it took me to find this apartment, which in retrospect, it wasn't that long, maybe like a month and a half, but the month and a half felt like 10 ages long. Oh my days. I didn't live, for those that don't know, the apartment journey, because I didn't make a YouTube video about it. I put the whole stories on TikTok. There's like 20 parts. You guys love that series. But the short story, long story short, I at the time was living 2 hours, 3 hours from the city, like 2.5 hours, 3 with traffic from Toronto, and I would have to come down on the weekends to see it. So it'd be like a 6-hour round trip journey, and my realtor was just, it was not good, and then I had to change realtors, and if you have time and you want a story time, you have a whole series to watch on my TikTok. But anyways, just thinking about that whole experience and having to probably do that again starting, I don't know, September, So I have somewhere to, because I think my lease is up mid-November, to have somewhere to move. And just thinking about, hopefully it really usually doesn't really snow around that time of the year here in Canada. But having to move again, and you're probably like, oh, you can just like stay, but I know rent goes up, and what if this rent goes up? And I'm like, the rent here is already crazy. Like, I definitely wanted to spend less money per month, but with like necessity and time, I said, fine, I'll go. So I'm like, ideally, I know it's only 9 months, it's like 9 months away, but ideally I would like to move, and ideally I would like to pay less in rent. I mean, I feel like anyone would want to pay less in rent. But why did I tell you about this? Oh, because the lighting in this bathroom is one thing that I didn't realize that I didn't really pay attention when I was looking, because I was so excited and I just wanted to move and I was tired, but it's not the best. And I was like, oh, maybe I can change the lighting source, because there's only one light source, which is this thing right here, and it's like yellow lighting. No, I cannot. I can't even remove it from the wall. Which also connects to the idea why I moved and was really excited about decorating. And then all of a sudden, with all the traveling and stuff, I stopped decorating, because I stopped and I'm like, girl, I know I'm probably gonna move out of here when the lease is up. And it was a 15-month lease. I can't believe how quickly time has passed. And I have 9 months left. Like, kind of exactly 9 months, because it's mid-month right now, and then I need to move out mid-month in November. Because I'm like, well, hopefully the next place that I live, I'm there longer term and not just for a year. I've been moving my entire life. I've probably moved over 20 times, which is actually insane. And I would like to live somewhere for more than a year in the future. I feel like the longest I've lived somewhere, it was probably before I moved out from college. And that was maybe like 3 or 4 years. That's probably the longest I've ever lived in the same, like, either house, apartment, whatever. Just going off of that idea, I always found so interesting when I would talk to people and be like, oh yeah, like, this has been my room since I was a kid. You know what my dream was always? To live in a house where my height, like, in the long term, that my height was documented. That was too late now. This is me. This is how tall I am. But I always thought, like, I wonder what it would be like to live somewhere long term. I just don't know her. We're always up and at it and moving countries, cities, provinces. And I'm like, girl, I don't know what long term housing commitment is like. So hopefully when I, in the future, move again, which probably it will be this year, I'm there for more than a year. Now that would be great, because moving is just so exhausting. I feel like I can never fully get into a spot and like make it my own and really decorate it the way I want to, because I know I'm gonna be out of this joint in a couple months. You know what I'm saying? How many of you guys have been living in the place for more than 5-6 years? And let me know what that's like. Do you like it? Do you sometimes wish you could go somewhere new? Which is so interesting, because you're probably like, oh my goodness, I've lived here this so long, like I want to move. Maybe that could be a perspective. Or you could be like, actually love having one place to live at for a very long time. Okay, skincare. As a creator, I try to stay in my own lane as much as possible. Whether that be like, if there's like any drama going on, I'm just watching. Don't put me in it. I try to keep my mouth shut in my opinions when it comes to like things happening within the creator world. I just show up, do my job. Hopefully it's a good job. Go to bed, do it again the next day. Of course, I try to stay in my own lane. Okay, yes, people are doing all these great and wonderful things, but I'm like, okay, just focus on you. What's meant for you will come, da 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 da. But as a human being, sometimes I see all my mutuals, or I guess like my coworkers, do all these crazy things, and I'm like, damn, like, obviously I'm so happy that you got to go, because now I get to see it on my timeline and get to enjoy that experience through them, which I love. But then sometimes I'm like, damn, like it would have been so fun to be there. And I'm like, am I not doing enough? Like, what's going on? Someone put me on a trip. Someone put me on a trip. Because if sometimes you have to look at your stuff and you're like, be for real, be like, oh girl, actually you need to work a little bit harder, and that's why you're not there where you want to be. But I'm like, sometimes I see other stuff, people do stuff, and I'm like, it's okay. It's okay. Like I always say, your time will come, your time will come, your time will come. What is meant for you will never pass by. That's my floss. Let's floss my teeth. But yeah, fine, I'll say it. I want to be on a grand trip. Go discover the world on someone else's dime. Who wouldn't? you would want to do it too. Like, damn. However, I do have more things to say. I was like, girl, no. Because the reason I was thinking about this, not because I don't think my stuff is good enough to also get me in the same opportunities that my peers are getting. Sometimes I get a little scared that I'll never get to experience those things. Follow me. I was listening to a podcast where Janae Taylor was speaking. She's a fellow KG girly, and she's awesome, fantastic. If you haven't seen her content, very like luxe, high fashion love. And she's talking about how, and I think to me, she's like at the top of the totem pole when it comes to like fashion opportunities when I see her do all these things. And she's talking about how sometimes she goes to places or spaces where she doesn't feel like welcome. I guess she was talking about Fashion Week in particular and how like she had a PR team that she got. You just need to listen to the podcast. Long story short, she got a PR team because it's easier, especially with this luxe shows, to go to the PR team. And I think there's a couple people with her in the room. They were meeting with this PR team for the first time to see if it would be a good fit. She goes like, okay, and there's 3 girls, Janae, 2 other girls, and she's directing to girl number 1. She goes, okay, for you, we're gonna do this. We can do this angle. This would be perfect to help, again, do all these great opportunities. Second person for you, da-da-da-da. And then when it comes to her, she's like, for you, I don't know. And that message was that sometimes this is now going into race. Sorry. Sometimes that's how the industry works. But she was kind of saying that at the end of the day, she was like too black for these opportunities. And usually there's like a token black girl in the sense of like there's a palatable black girl to enter in these opportunities. And that made me scared because, I mean, I knew that, like, come on. When you see these shows, you see these things, you see who's in the room, everyone looks a little bit of the same. I see stuff like this and I'm like, where are my Southeast Asians? Where are my Pacific Islanders? Yeah, you're like, where is the variety? I'm not only, when I go into see the people participating in all these things that look great as like an influencer, not only looking for my fellow black girl or my fellow Latina, I'm also looking for other people from other races that aren't white. So when she's saying all these things, it gives me not anxiety, but it gets me scared of when I said, is this something that I'll ever get to experience? Because if at her level, she's amazing. She's still seeing all these hurdles and she's like, I'm only going to go to places that were, she said from now on, or I guess like talking about all this types of fashion shows and fashion weeks and the different ones where she feels welcome versus not feeling welcome. She said from now on she's only going to go where she feels invited and not that she has to like beg to go to these places. So when she says these things, it kind of like discourages me a little. 2 things. It discourages me a little because I'm like, wow, if at her level in her career she's feeling these, what is my itty bitty self in comparison to size of audience gonna do to break through and get into those spaces? You know what I'm saying? Like if her audience is like down for her, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, is that something I'm ever going to experience? And then in another note, it also lights a fire into me to like keep working hard to be able to experience things like that one day. But at the same time, I don't want to beg no one, you know? Like I just magically want to wake up and have like 10 different emails from 10 different big companies, as everyone does, and be like, we want Natasha Mather right there, da 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 da. But sometimes the way that this works out, and there's a lot of different ways to speak about this because it also can come down to the people who are on these PR teams. If people that are on these PR teams don't look like you, the chances of you being seen and considered might be lower because they're looking for people and suggesting people that they see on their phone. And everyone's For You page is different depending on, you know, like who you are. So if only a certain demographic is mostly on these PR teams and that's all they see on their pages, what about the rest of the POCs? You know, like, so it's a multi-layered topic of conversation. I just spilled my mouthwash. It like made me sad in the sense of like, wow, it's 2025 and we're still fighting this. Didn't surprise me at all though. But then at the same time, I'm like feeling discouraged because I'm like, how much harder do we as a whole need to go to get into these big spaces and opportunities, you know? I lost my bonnet a couple weeks ago, have looked everywhere, don't know where it is. So I've been using a satin scarf ever since. That's the end of the vlog. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for spending the day with me. I'm gonna go maybe start editing this so it's up tomorrow. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below on any video you guys want to see next, and I'll see you on the next one.